Now we got to do our season, our season award predictions, man.
Well, you already predicted all mine, I
think. So hold on. Let me see if I can get you right. All right. So MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and Comeback Player of the Year is Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, here, I was thinking this. I don't know if someone was to win MVP, they would win Comeback Player of the Year. I don't know if they would do that.
Well, typically, they don't even give the MVP Offensive Player of the Year, which throws me off. Like, how does Lamar Jackson win MVP, but not Offensive Player of the Year? Or the year when Mahomes won it, Drew Brees got
Wait, who won it last year? Am I off here?
Was it Michael Thomas?
He might have, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Michael Thomas, yeah. But each year, it's like weird like that, like, or no, it wasn't McCaffrey. It might have been McCaffrey.
It might have been Deke.
Yeah, but either way, it's typically whoever wins MVP doesn't win Offensive Player of the Year, even if they play offense. And that's the part that always throws me off. So for me, I'm like, all right, this guy will probably win this award, but he can't. They're not going to give him that one, which makes zero sense. Like if Ben, for example, went MVP, then he should be the Offensive Player of the Year. He should be the Comeback Player of the Year. It should be like pretty simple. On video games, they do it like that. But when it comes to the voting in real life, it makes zero sense to me, man.
Because I was gonna say I'll give him MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Now, like I said, I don't know if you're winning those two, they're just gonna give you comeback. Because I think Cam's gonna have a good year. But I might as well just do the clean sweep, huh?
I mean, you want to?
I do. So you know what I am. I just don't know if they're gonna do that. Like if Cam has a good year, but Ben got the MVP, I think they'll share the love a little bit.
Okay.
But you know what? Ben will deserve that Comeback Player of the Year if he gets MVP. So clean sweep across the board.
Clean sweep. All right. So for me, I guess so. We're gonna go one at a time too with this, man. So MVP for me, I got Patrick Mahomes. I think he goes back. Obviously, he looked great last night, and I still think he's gonna be better this year. Obviously, I'm playing a full season is gonna definitely boost his statistics, and with him being the face of the NFL right now, we all know when you're the face and you're playing well and you're in all these primetime games, the voters love that. And they love the fact that he's creating history. They want to be able to say, well, man, not only was he the first guy under 25 to win a regular season MVP, win a Super Bowl championship, win a Super Bowl MVP, but then he went back and won another regular season MVP. Like, they are all for those type of storylines. So that's why for me, I think it would be Mahomes to win the MVP award. And now you already gave your Offensive Player of the Year, so I'll just do those three real quick.
I just fired him off. Real quick. It was simple. It was simple.
Yeah. So for me, Offensive Player of the Year, I think this is Russell Wilson. He's a guy that obviously hasn't received the MVP votes, very similar to Ben, but we know he's always in the conversation. We know he's an elite quarterback. The only reason why I think he went Offensive Player of the Year and not MVP, Mahomes still has the spark, that flashiness about him that people like. They want to see the no-look pass. They want to see the 70-yard dagger and he, gets hype and runs down the field. Whereas with Russ is going to give you 3/4 of like, oh, it's kind of ugly. I don't really know what's going on. And then he's going to give you crazy fourth quarter. For voters, though, when you talk about the MVP, they want the glamour. Lamar Jackson last year, he gave you glamour the whole time. That's why people vote for those type of players. Whereas with Russ, he's not going to give you that, but he's definitely going to light it up. When you look at the stat sheet at the end of the game, you're going to say, oh, wow, he produced. So that's why I think he'll be the Offensive Player of the Year. And then,
do you have a skill position guy you're looking out for? Like, it's maybe like a runner up? Because like we said, like if Mike Thomas won it last year, how many times has it happened before? Running backs won, or like Adrian Peterson?
For me, I'm looking at McCaffrey. I think the type of season he had last year with Kyle Allen as his quarterback, when you bring in Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bridgewater, I just personally think that that's going to help him out a lot because Teddy is a more valuable passing option. He's more of a proven commodity at quarterback than Kyle Allen was. So I just think that that's going to take some of that pressure off of McCaffrey and it'll open up some stuff for him.
Yeah, I think him or Mike Thomas, like they're going to put up stats.
Well, because Mike Thomas super volume guy. He's going to be 130 catches. We know that.
I'm trying to think of a sleeper or something. I can't. I mean, those two guys, I don't see how they're not going to have similar seasons. Maybe Barkley, actually.
The only thing,
Barkley's not a bad pick.
He's not. I just feel like overall, though, he's still going to be capped just because of in the NFC East, they're not the team that you're going to be talking about. You're not. I mean, even though he's playing in New York, it's just different. Even like think about the year he had last year. He was still very productive last year. But McCaffrey, his numbers were just
Barkley was hurt a little bit too. Yeah, and if you taken Barkley's numbers over the course of 16, it still wouldn't have touched McCaffrey's.
And I just think that's the difference, man. I think some of the defenses that Saquon is going to be facing is going to be a lot more challenging than McCaffrey. And I think with McCaffrey too, just because of his style of play, he's not as because with Saquon, he's not a big guy, but he's bulkier. You know what I mean? Like he's still more of a power guy. Whereas McCaffrey, he's just lightning. And we know with lightning, like it doesn't matter what's around you. Like you're making people miss. that's why I think like for him, he just has the nod in that vein. I mean, for me, like if I'm picking between the two, I would rather have Saquon just because I still like the tradition, like being able to just pound the ball.
Yeah, we did that in our rankings, right?
Yeah, because I want a guy who I can just hand it off to and he's going to get off. But McCaffrey, he just presents so many challenges and so many different ways that he can still impact the game, and he has that home run threat capability as well. So that's why, like I said, if I had to have a backup or runner up
position, yeah.
And then for me, my comeback play, I go with Ben here. I think, man, with Ben, everything is set up for him to be successful. You look at the weapons he has. You look at the fact they're going to be on prime time a lot. From a media standpoint, people love to talk about the Steelers, right? Or, I mean, whether it's good or bad, they want to talk about the Steelers. And from a storyline standpoint, man, you talking about a guy that missed all of last season, the first time in his career missing that much time, elbow surgery, all the uncertainties around him. And he comes out and leads his team to the playoffs the first time in 3 years now. So when I think of that, that's why I think that he would get it. Whereas with Stafford, no matter what, Stafford can have better numbers than Ben. The Detroit market, him playing with the Lions, they're not going to talk about them like that. They're not going to be out there.
No,
like
and
that.
Even I think how the Steelers played last year plays into the narrative for this year because we should have made the playoffs if we just would have had a quarterback last year. Our offense would have been competent. So like Ben's coming in, he's the savior. So if you're talking about storylines, then because the Lions didn't do anything last year no matter what.
Right. And then with Cam Newton, I just personally think Cam is going to do well. I don't think he has enough weapons though that have those type of numbers. Like when you look at their offense between the opt-outs and they never really upgraded their receivers. They still are walking in with Julian Edelman as their number one receiver. They still got N'Keal Harry as a question mark. And then they got rid of Mohamed Sanu. So it's just kind of like, man, you got Cam set up for failure right now.
But he's done it in Carolina, which
he
is
definitely has.
Which is you're just thinking Belichick with his system, how he's going to operate things. That Cam will be able to figure out a way. You're right. Will. Maybe the numbers aren't as gaudy because of that, though. Right.
But that's the only reason. And I think with Ben, like I said, he does. If Ben is back in let's be real. Ben's a 4,000-yard passer. Worst case, if he's in that vein, he throws 30 touchdowns. He's going to win comeback player of the year. Like regardless of what else happens, that's just. I mean, the quarterbacks we know. That's what they do, and especially with him and the narrative around him. So that's why I have him as the comeback player of the year.
I like it, dude.
So we'll go defensive player of the year. Who you have, man?
Man, dude, I don't want to be that guy. I just
Why you lie to yourself? You do want to be that guy. Come on, man.
Listen, dude, I would be remiss if I didn't pick one of our guys because I have them number one in the safety position, and I have the other guy as number one edge rusher. So. Unless we're saying like a middle linebacker can win defensive player of the year. I don't know when that's happened recently.
It had been with Kuechly?
It might have, dude.
Wagner. It was the Kuechly.
I don't know.
I gotta look. Yeah.
I'm just thinking edge rusher with the sack numbers and stuff. Yeah. People were picking Minka too. Who was closest last year? It was TJ, right?
I'm assuming, yeah.
In terms of because he was in the actual voting.
Yeah, okay. I got what you're saying now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go TJ. I got to go TJ, man. I mean, he was everything we've said in the past whenever we were ranking the edge rushers and stuff. I got him as number one. He was in the mix for it last year.
Yeah.
He's hitting his prime. So, dude, why not? If I'm going to pick a guy, I'm picking one of our guys.
Clean sweep Steelers. I like it. I see where we're going here.
It's not going to happen, clean sweep. But we got a majority, though.
Yeah, so for me, man, I had TJ as a defensive player of the year. I just think...
Whoa.
Well, this is the thing, man. When you look at Cam getting his contract done, he doesn't have to worry about that now. We know Bud on the opposite end is going to be hungry because he wants to get another contract. So what does that end up being for TJ? That ends up being that they're not going to be able to put all that sliding protection, doubling him because you're not singling Cam, you're not single blocking to it. And Bud showed last year you can't single block him. We know from a coverage standpoint, the biggest issue with pass rushers is typically your secondary can't cover. So you're not getting enough time to rush. You're not getting enough time to work your counters and your second and third and fourth move and things like that. Whereas in Pittsburgh with Joe Steven Nelson, Minka Fitzpatrick, Terrell Edmonds, and then now if Edmonds or Minka goes down, you're bringing in Sean Davis, who's been a starter in this league for multiple years. The coverage element is there. They're good. So for me, I just see it sets up perfectly for TJ. And when you look at some of the tackles he's going to be facing, whether it's from opt-outs or injuries, he's going to have some beautiful opportunities to go against young tackles or backup tackles for 4, almost 6 games right now. That's exciting. So for me, that's why I think that TJ can go ahead and do it, because we typically, the way the awards work too is the year prior to when you really put up the numbers, that kind of gets you on the radar, on the map, right? And then the following, if you're in that same vein or better, now you typically get the award. Gilmore's not, in my opinion, Gilmore's not going to win that back to back, because what he was able to do last year, that doesn't happen in terms of you having the DB scoring more than he got scored on. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
If anything, I didn't give up any touchdowns, but I'm not scoring multiple touchdowns. I don't see Gilmore having that type of year again, even though shout out to my dog, he did just get a $5 million upgrade. Definitely proud of him for that. But I just don't see that scenario happening for him. Whereas TJ, we know TJ's going to get sacks. We know TJ's going to get forced fumbles. We know TJ's going to have those impact plays. Then he plays at the sexy position of pass rusher, where you know when they make a play, everyone knows. It's not like with Cam Hayward where you got to break down film for people to know his impact and know his worth. Nah, with TJ, you don't even have to know football and just say, oh, this dude got a big tackle and he kicked up in the air. Everybody went crazy. He must be good. I like him. Voters like that type of stuff. Fans like that type of stuff. So that's why, for me, I think TJ gets the nod.
You're really getting inside the mind of the voter here. I like it.
Well, that's just how they operate.
I know.
Man, you stay around it long enough, you see it. You're like, this doesn't make sense. Oh, okay, I got what you're thinking. It's like with baseball. Oh, man, they got this morality thing going on where these guys aren't getting votes. Even though they deserve it, they're not getting it. And you just can see with different voters, with different people in different leagues, how they handle it. So that's why, for me, when I think of with TJ, I'm like, it sets up perfectly for him. And along with the fact that he's going to be on a winning team too. I think of 8-8 last year. I anticipate this team being double-digit victories. We talked about that. And when you factor in them playing in those primetime games, them playing either tied or with a lead, those are going to be way more opportunities for him to rush the passer. So his numbers could even be better. Whereas last year, how many games were they trailing in? How many games was it a dogfight where they're not even having to throw against this defense because they're already ahead or whatever it may be? They knew that our offense couldn't score. That's going to be different this year with Ben being back and the weapons that he has. So that's why I'm like, everything is setting up perfect for my dog TJ to get that nod, man.
What else we got? Rookie of the year?
Yeah, offensive rookie of the year, man. You want to go first?
This is easy.
Who you got, man?
It's Claypool. No, I'm just messing.
I thought you were going to go him. I'm not going to lie, bro. I am not going to lie. I was like, all right, there you go. I knew it. You wanted to. You wanted to. Don't lie. You wanted
it's
to.
It's Edwards-Helaire, dude. Come on.
You wanted to.
Come on. It's Edwards-Helaire. That's simple.
That's who you want? Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's easy. He's gonna have monster stats this year.
So for me, I'm saying CeeDee Lamb, man. I think, man, with him, he's going to have very favorable matchups. He's not going to be facing your number one corner. He might not even face the number two corner realistically. And you know, Dak coming off of 4,900 passing yards and he's playing for a new contract. He's going to want to light it up as well. I just see a scenario where he's feasting on your third corner or your second corner at times. And we know in Dallas, they're going to hype him up like crazy. That's what they do in Dallas. I mean, we talk about it, man. You could be an average player in Dallas, but they talk
their
about
offense
you a lot.
Is stacked.
You got Mike McCarthy, who we saw the success that he had in Green Bay. Now, granted, I still have question marks in terms of was that more Aaron Rodgers or was it McCarthy? We'll find out. But I just think, man, between the running game, the O-line, everything is set up where CeeDee Lamb is just a glorified accessory. And he's going to be able to feast in that role. And especially as a rookie, not having to have pressure. With Clyde, I think Clyde is still going to put up crazy numbers and still be productive. But it's going to get a lot harder for Clyde as this thing goes on, because now they're going to start saying, well, look, we got to figure out ways to take this running game out.
That's fair.
And with CD, they're not going to be focused on CD. They got to worry about Amari Cooper. They got to worry about
Gallup.
Gallup. I always want to call him Galladay. I'm thinking about the dude in Detroit.
Kenny, yeah.
But yeah, with Gallup, they're going to be thinking about those two guys who are very, very productive, have shown that they can both be 1,000-yard receivers in their own right. That means CD is going to be having. Imagine if we're having our number one or potentially a number one style player, number one style receiver on a third corner, fourth corner, like. Yeah, that guy should dominate that matchup a lot of the times. So that's why I think for CD, man, it just sets up perfect where he can be that dark horse candidate, but really put up numbers in because he's in a big market. If he was playing anywhere, if he's playing in New England, if he's playing in Tampa, it's like they're going to talk about them places, but it's not like a Dallas market. We know when it comes to national fan base, when it comes to national attention, Dallas is up there with the best of them. And that's global. It doesn't matter what sport it is. Like the Dallas Cowboys, they just are that notarized and stuff like that. So that's the only reason why I can see CeeDee Lamb having a scenario where he can win it, man.
Defensive rookie now.
Defensive rookie. Well, because so we got defensive rookie of the year. Who you got, man?
I was going back and forth with this one. I think the probably most popular pick's Chase Young, but I'm thinking Simmons out in AZ.
I like Simmons.
I'm thinking Simmons out in AZ. I think he's gonna have the splash plays. I think he's gonna have like the overall stats, like the tackles, few picks thrown in, a couple forced fumbles, like that type of stuff. So I think yeah, he's definitely got a chance there. I
I
got
like
him.
that.
I got him winning. Chase Young, he could do very well, but I could also see a scenario where they're targeting on him pretty
Mhm.
much, and maybe he doesn't reach the double-digit sacks. Maybe he has
Yeah.
like 7 or 8, just like a nice rookie year, but
Yeah.
not rookie of the year caliber. So I like Simmons, but I think he's gonna pad the stat sheet here.
I like it, man. It's definitely a 2-horse race between those two guys. The reason why I'm going Chase Young, I just know as a pass rusher, as a rookie, if he gets 10 sacks, they're giving him the nod. We know that. And he's more than capable of doing that. Every time you see a clip of him in training camp, he's dominating. Obviously, the Washington football team's tackles and O-line isn't the best, but he's just a dominant player. It's a reason why he was drafted where he was drafted. And when you're looking at the teams, he's going to play Philly twice, and their O-line has been destroyed with injuries and stuff like that. Obviously, he's going to play the Cowboys. That's going to present some challenges. But when you really go down the NFC East and you look at some of these matchups, the Giants, he's going to see them twice. Those are games where he's going to be able to really feast. And that's, for me, why I can see a scenario where he's going to win it. Whereas Isaiah Simmons, I think that for Isaiah to win, you hit on it. He's going to have to fill up the stat sheet. He's going to need to be around 100 tackles. He's going to need to have a couple of interceptions. He's going to need to have a fumble recovery, a forced fumble, maybe even score a touchdown. In a normal offseason, I don't think that's too much for him. But right now, that's going to be asking a lot of him, man, where he didn't get the full offseason to learn everything. He had to condense training camp like everyone else. And you're expecting him from a 16-game standpoint to be able to do that. I think later in the year, he's going to emerge and show his dominance, similar to what Devin Bush did in terms of midway to the end of the season. He really started to produce a lot more. But early on, we talked about Devin struggle. And I just see a scenario where early on, Isaiah could potentially struggle, man, because he's going to be their guy that they want to do it all. They're going to have, hey, man, we want you to rush. We want you to cover. We want you to play in the deep half. We want you to do this. And as a rookie, man, your head's going to be spinning. And you're going to look up and you say, oh, we're just at week 10? Like, holy cow. And that's a lot for him. That's why, for me, I just see it where Chase is a lot simpler. Chase, I don't think the Washington football team is going to do anything good in terms of wins and stuff like that. But for Chase Young, it should be easy for him to go out there and get a sack each game. I mean, at worst.
I agree with you. I think he's definitely got, like, if he hits 10 sacks, I think he'll get it. I guess my thing is he might get 7 or 8. Maybe he gets hurt. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Like, that's a ridiculous thing to be predicting. But, like, you know, you have that, or maybe they start keying in on him, like I said, because that's the only guy that they have on their defense. That, if he hits 10 sacks, which is very likely, or not likely, but it's very much in the realm of possibility.
Well, my thing is this: the Washington football team's D line is nice. You got Ryan Kerrigan, he's gonna be playing with. You got Montez Sweat as well, and I'm drawing a blank. It's another guy that's over there as well. So they have other pieces. It's not like they're just gonna be able to slide all the protection to Chase, because Kerrigan has proven to be a double-digit sack guy every year that he's been healthy.
Not shabby.
Yeah. We definitely know. And he gonna hit you with the flex at the end. I actually like the flex, man. But he's gonna do that. So for me, I'm just like, Chase is gonna have favorable matchups. It's not like he's the best guy on a bum D line. The rest of their defense, needs some help. Shout out to my dog Jimmy Moreland though. But other than that, man, that D line, I feel like that's probably their best position group on that team right now.